The vaccine, as soon as it arrives, we're ready to go.
Premier Doug Ford was joined by several MPPs, including General Rick Hillier, the head of the Vaccine Distribution Task Force, on a tour of the United Health Network in downtown Toronto to take a look at its freezer farm. These specific freezers are capable of storing Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine at its required temperature of minus 80 degrees Celsius.
You can see it's at minus 80.
We want to see it filled with vaccines, and then we want to see those vaccines rotating out as quickly as is humanly possible, and this team here obviously is going to do that for us.
Each freezer can hold up to 240,000 vials of vaccine.
Many now ordered. They begin coming in next week? This week. So across the province, freezer farms being established.
There will be two main sites to store the first batch of Pfizer vaccine in Ontario. The drug could be administered as early as next week, pending a Health Canada approval. Those two sites are still unknown at this time.
We will be announcing the sites very shortly. There's over 21 hospitals in Ontario that have the deep freeze capabilities for the holding the Pfizer vaccine, and we're still making inquiries with Pfizer with respect to any movement. They've said that it shouldn't be moved more than once.
That makes vaccinating residents of long-term care homes much more difficult. However, Ford said he spoke with a representative from Moderna whose vaccine only needs to be stored in a regular freezer.
With a team from Moderna yesterday, and that's a lot easier to move, to get into the long-term care homes.
And while the vaccine isn't mandatory, Health Minister Christine Elliott says the province is working on an immunity passport that could determine where a person can or can't go.
Yes, because that's going to be really important for people to have for travel purposes, perhaps for work purposes, for going to theaters or cinemas or any other places where people will be in closer physical contact when we get through the worst of the pandemic. So yes, that will be essential for people to have that.
The province of the Medical Officer of Health told CHCH that it's still early, but the province is looking at options for possible tracking and surveillance of vaccine recipients. That includes access to a potential immunity passport. In the meantime, the province says it's keeping an eye out for how the rollout goes in the United Kingdom. Minister Elliott says they'll be paying close attention to how the vaccine is transported and how it reacts, and also any side effects felt by patients.